أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So we have learned two fragments so far. The first fragment we learned was mudaf ilayh, and the second fragment that we learned yesterday was sifa mawsuf. So we'll just quickly revise what we learned yesterday and then we go to today's lesson. So what we learned yesterday was that sifa mawsuf in its shortest form would consist of two words, and the second word would describe the first word. Not like English. In English, the first word describes the second word, but in Arabic, so we have two words, as-sirata, al-mustaqima. As-sirata means path, al-mustaqima means straight. For them to be called sifa mawsuf, the both of them have to match in all the four properties. And what are those? Status, gender, number, and time. And if you look at that, both are nasab, both are masculine, both are singular, and both are proper. So they are sifa mawsuf, and we will say straight path. We'll go to the second word first and then come back to the first one. Or we can say the path which is straight, or you can say the straight path. This is how we translate sifa mawsuf. The first word is called mawsuf and the second word is called sifa. But there can be more than one sifa. There can be multiple sifa of one mawsuf. Mawsuf will be only one, but its sifa, only one word will be mawsuf. But its sifa could be sifa 1, sifa 2, sifa 3, sifa. There can be multiple sifa. Over here, it is only one sifa. So, in brief, what we learned, the one being described, which is called mawsuf, comes first in Arabic. The description, which is sifa, comes after the mawsuf. The mawsuf and its sifa, they must match in terms of their four properties. Mawsuf, one mawsuf or one mawsuf word can have multiple sifa. The sifa of a broken plural mawsuf is generally singular and feminine because a broken plural word is considered singular and feminine. Therefore, to match in the four properties, the sifa has to be singular and feminine. Like sururun marfuwatun. Sururun is a broken plural, which is a mawsuf, which means thrones. So its sifa, which is marfuwatun, has to be singular and feminine. And that is why it is called raised thrones. The translation will be, and it is a sifa mawsuf. The mawsuf and its sifa do not have to be next to each other. So other words can come in between. In mudaf ilayh, for example, that we learned before, no word can come between a mudaf and its mudaf ilayh. They have to be next to each other. No other word can go in between them. But in sifa mawsuf, other words can come in between. Okay, there are examples in Qur'an that we will inshallah learn at some point. So this is a brief revision of sifa mawsuf. So what we are going to learn today, that third fragment, and third fragment is called jar majroor. Jar majroor, that's the name of the third fragment. I shared a table in the WhatsApp group for this class, and in that table there were 11 words, and I had requested that everybody learn those words, memorize actually those words, and memorize their meaning, because that is what is going to help us today in learning this topic, jar majroor. Okay, so let's start. So For an ism to be in jar status, it can be only because of two reasons. One of the two reasons. Okay, one we learned already. Mudaf ilay. If an ism is a mudaf ilay, okay, then that word, that ism, is in jar status. We already know this. And there is only one more reason for ism to be in jar status. That's it. If you see an ism, it is in jar status in Quran, one of the two reasons will apply. Either it will be mudaf ilay, or the ism will be after a jar. Some people also call it harfu jar. We will call it jar. So when you see ism in Quran in jar status, the reason for being in the jar status will be one of the two. Either it will be a mudaf ilay, or before that ism will be a jar, and that jar changes the status of the ism which comes after it to jar. And the word that is in jar status is called majroor. Okay, remember this. A word, an ism in jar status is called majroor. Similarly, an ism in rafa status is called marfu'. Marfu'un. And an ism in nasab status is called mansubun. Okay, so I come back to the jar one. An ism which is in jar status is called majroor. We say the word is majroor. The ism is majroor because its status is jar. Okay? So there are 11 jar which are used in Quran. In Arabic language, there are more jar. But in Quran, only 11 are used. So we will only learn 11 words. Okay, and what are they? These are the 11 words. And this is how you are supposed to memorize them if you haven't done that already. Bi, ta, ka, li, wa, fi, min, an, ala, hatta, ila. I had some arrows pointing downward. So I just wanted you to memorize them from top down. Bi, ta, ka, li, wa, fi, min, an, ala, hatta, ila. And then memorize their meaning as well. Bi means with. Ta, ta is used for taking an oath. For taking a qasam. Huh? Ka means like. And this ka comes at the start of a word. It's not like kitabu ka, because that ka comes after the word. This ka comes before the word and it means like. That other ka, like kitabu ka, means your. So this is a different ka. Li means for. Wa. This wa doesn't mean and. This is again a wa which is used for taking an oath. Like wal asri, by the time. I swear by the time. So wa means swear by. I take an oath by. Fi means in. Min means from. An means about or from. Ala means upon. Hatta means until. Ila means towards. So remember, whenever any of these words, they're all huruf, by the way. They are harf. They are not ism, not fail. They are all harf. Okay? And whenever any of these harf come in an Arabic sentence, there will be always an ism after it. Okay? Whenever any of these words come in Quran, there will be an ism after it. And that ism will be in jar status. Or you can say, other way of saying it will be that the ism that will come after a jar will be majroor. Will be majroor. And that is why it is called jar majroor. Examples. Let's look at some example. Suratul Fil. Everybody pretty much, I hope everybody memorized it. Anyway, they know this surah anyway. It's one of the most recited surah in the Quran. Okay. So I said B. B is a harf jar, or we can say a jar. So B is a jar. In the first ayah, I see a B. You see a B? This is a jar. In the second ayah, you see a fee. That is also a jar. If you had memorized it, then you would know it is a jar. So you still have time. You should memorize them. This is ala in the third ayah. It is also a jar. In the fourth ayah, we have a B again. And then a min. They're all from that table, which I had requested you to memorize. And you see over here, ka, which means like. So B means with, fi means in, ala means upon, B means with, min means from, and ka means like. If you look at right after the next word after these words, which are circled, all of those words are in jar status. Ashabi. See, ashabi. It is not ashabu or ashaba. Why it is ashabi? Because of B, the word that came before it. B ashabi is together, is a fragment, and it is called jar majrur. B is a jar, and the word that is in jar status is called majrur. Right after it. There should be no gap. Like there can be a gap in sifa mawsuf, but no gap here. They have to be next to each other. So again, I say this again. These 11 words, they are huruf, and each of them is called a jar. Whenever any of these words come in Quran, there will be an ism after it, and that ism will be in jar status. And the combination of the jar and the word after it, which is in jar status, is called jar majrur. Simple as that. Fi and tadlilin. So you see tadlilin, it's not tadlilun or tadlilan. It is jar status. So it is also jar majrur. Alayhim. So it's jar majrur. It was actually ala plus whom. I think you have, at the start of this course, you have done this in the first part of the class. Ala plus whom. But when combined together, Arabs don't say alayhum. No. It is hard on the tongue. Alayhum. Instead, they say alayhim. So that is why we have to say alayhim as well. So it's a situation, or it's a instance of a pronoun attached to a harf. Pronoun attached to a harf. Alayhim. So him is majroor, ala is a jar, and alayhim is a jar majroor. B hijaratin. So bi hijaratin is also jar majroor. Hijaratin is in jar status. You see, min sijilin. It's not sijilun or sijilan, so it is also jar majroor. And ka asfin, it is jar majroor. Now you will say why ma'kulin is in jar status as well. It is the sifa of ka asfin. This is sifa of asfin. That is why it is in jar status. But the fundamental reason is still jar. This jar. If ka was not there, asfin or ma'kulin, any of them will not be in jar status. So the fundamental reason is still jar. So there are only two reasons. When you see an ism, two fundamental reasons I should say. When you see a word and ism in jar status in Quran, it will be only because of one of the two reasons. Either it will be a mudaf ilayh, or it will be a ism after a jar. There will be a jar before it. And there are examples of it everywhere. For example, tallahi, ta. As I said, ta means I swear by, or we swear by. It depends how it is used. Tallahi, by Allah. By Allah. So ta is only used with lafzul jalala, Allah. It is not used with other words. Or rabba, sometimes rabba. If you use for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then. So ta is very unique. Va and ta. Vav kasamiya and this ta. They have the same meaning. But the difference is ta is used with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name only. So tallahi is a jar majroor. Fi dalalin. Fi is a jar. Dalalin is majroor. Again, mubinin is in jar status because dalalin, mubinin is a sifa mawsuf. But the fundamental reason for both of them to be in jar status is fi. Fi, which is a jar. So jar majroor. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So lillahi. Li plus Allah. So this is jar majroor. Rabbil Alameen. This is mudaf mudaf ilayh. This is not jar majroor. Wattini. Wazzaytuni. You see wa? This is not that this word doesn't mean and. Attini. This is in jar status. So that is why. Because the vowel which means and does not make the ism after it in jar status. Doesn't make it majroor. So, but over here it has happened. So that is why wa means by. By the teen. By the zaytun. I swear by the teen and I swear by the zaytun. So this vow is used for taking an oath and therefore it is a jar. Over here, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu la tulhikum amwalukum wala awladukum an zikrillah. An is a jar. Zikri, that is why it is zikri. Somebody tell me why this Allahi is in jar status. Anybody knows? Zikri means remembrance. Sad.
Mudaf ilayh, sir.
Yeah, it is mudaf ilayh. Zikri is in jar status because of an. But Allah is not in jar status because of an. Because it is mudaf ilayh. Zikrillahi, remembrance of Allah. Remembrance of Allah. So this is mudaf ilayh. But zikri is in jar status because of an, which is a jar. So it is jar majroor. Similarly, you see, pronouns, attach pronouns to a jar. What will be it? Minhu, minhum, minka, minkum, minni, minna. Now somebody may say, oh, this is who. So this should be in Rafa status. Minhu, who. But remember, these are attached pronouns. These are pronouns. We have different set of rules for a pronoun. When a pronoun is attached to an ism, that pronoun is in jar status. When a pronoun is not attached to anybody, that is in rafa status. And when a pronoun is attached to a harf of jar, we don't look at the haraka of that pronoun. We don't look at that. We will not look at this tamma. Or we will not look at this fatha in minka. Because if you look at this fatha, you may say this is in nasab status. No. For pronouns, we have different set of rules. We need to know, are they detached or attached? And if they are attached to what? So if they are attached to a harf, all the attached pronouns will be in jar status and we will call them jar majroor. Minhu is a jar majroor. Minhum is a jar majroor. Minka, minkum, minni, minna. An. An. And we can also go with feminine. We haven't done that yet, so I will not go over it. Li. Somebody tell me if I attach the pronouns to li. This is revision actually of that what we have learned already. So, okay, who wants to do it? I have Sadiq Wal already here. Anybody else who is interested?
I might try.
Okay, I will ask somebody new to do it, huh? Oh, how about that, Tanjin? Umar. Umar Suhail Sayyid. Go ahead.
Okay. So lahu, lahum, laka, lakum, li, lana.
Why did you didn't say lihu?
Because in the Quran it's almost always li.
Yeah, because Arabs don't say that. So this is a very unique harf. It's a unique harf. The harf is li, but when it is attached to pronouns, it changes to la. Arabs do that. So we just have to follow them. So again, what were they, Umar? Can you say the words again?
Lahu, lahum, laka, lakum, li, lana.
Yeah, what's the meaning of la? Well, sorry, li. What's the meaning of li?
Wrap into a burrito book.
What's the meaning of li?
4.
Four. Okay, I say the words, you give me the meaning. Lahu. Give me the meaning, Umar. Lahu means?
What was the question? Excuse me.
I
Lahu
say the
for
word,
him.
you give me the meaning. Lahu means?
For him.
Lahum.
For them.
Laka.
For you.
Lakum.
For you all.
Li.
For me.
Lana.
For us.
Yeah. So each of these words, lahu, lahum, laka, lakum, li, lana, each of these words is a fragment, and this fragment is called jar majroor. Okay. Fi. See, we're just revising stuff. We have already done this. Anybody who wants to attach pronouns to fi? Brother Farrukh Hamid.
Um, فهو فهم
Sorry, say it again.
فهو
No, brother, listen. We did this with la. Sorry, li. Li became la, right? Li
yeah
became la, but li is unique. There's no other harf like that. This
فيه
only happens to li. Don't apply that to fi. Okay? Don't make fi fa. Fi will remain fi. Try again.
فيه فيهم فيك فيكم في فينا
No. Fihi.
في
Fihim. Fika. Fikum. Fiyya. You see, there is a two ya. Fi has a ya, and there is this additional ya here. So ya will get a shadda. Fiyya. And fina. Why we don't say fihu? Why we don't say fihum? Why it became fihi and fihim? Because Arabs don't like fihu. They don't say the word fihu. They say fihi.
okay
So we have to say that too. Okay, so if there is a ya at the end of the harf jar or the jar, then it will be he, him. He, him. Okay. Brother Farooq, you stay with me. B. B means with. Ah, okay. I won't do that. Instead of fee, just assume there was a B. So what you will do here?
um بيحو
No, bihi. Bihi. If there's a kasra or ya at the end, then it will be he, him. So try again.
به بهم
Be him.
أو بهم بك بكم بي or بنا
Be bina. Because B doesn't have a ya with it, does it? So there
no
are only one ya. So that is why it will not be biya. It will be just be. And all of them will be jar majroor.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I had the feminine, so that is why I didn't do it. Because we haven't learned that. So how we tell the status of a pronoun? Because the table that we have used previously to tell the status of an ism will not apply to the pronouns. So how we tell the status of a pronoun? If a pronoun is attached, if a pronoun is detached, is not attached to anything, like huwa, hum, anta, antum, ana, nahnu. These are detached pronouns. They are not attached to anything. They are always in what status? Rafa. Detached pronouns are in Rafa status. But when they are attached, then you have to look what they are attached to. If they are attached to an ism, then those pronouns are in jar status. A pronoun attached to a jar is also in a jar status. Okay? So we have learned 3 rules. A pronoun which is detached, not attached to anything, is in Rafa status. If there is a pronoun attached to an ism, then that pronoun is in jar status, and it is called mudaf mudaf ilayh. We learned that. And if a pronoun is attached to a jar, then that pronoun is also in jar status, and it is called jar majroor. All right. And one rule which I have not written here, you learned that in the first class, not the rule, but you learned attaching a pronoun to a fail. So when a pronoun is attached to a fail, then that pronoun is in nasab status, always. So a rule which is not written here, I'm just saying it, so memorize it. So 4 things, and that's it for pronoun. A detached pronoun is in rafa status. A pronoun attached to an ism is in jar status, and it is called mudaf mudaf ilayh. A pronoun attached to a jar is in jar status, and the resulting fragment is called jar majroor. And the last thing which is not written here, a pronoun attached to a fail is always in nasab status. A pronoun attached to a fail is always in nasab status. All right. So this is, you know all the rules for telling the status of a pronoun. Okay. Because the rules of the table that we learned to tell the status do not apply to the pronouns. So there was no breakout room today, but anyway, we are done with jar majroor. So now we are done with 3 fragments. Mudaf mudaf ilay, sifa mausuf, and jar majroor. And inshallah, next class, we will learn the 4th fragment. But again, if you have not memorized the words in the table which I shared in the WhatsApp group, please memorize the words by heart and their meaning by heart. Because these words are used in Quran very often. So if you know the meaning, then you will be able to understand what they mean. And you can also know that this is a harf, which is a jar, and the ism after will be in jar status, and the resulting fragment will be jar majroor. So this is the way to identify this fragment in Quran, and you can only identify them if you have memorized the list of jar words, which are the 11 words in the table. So memorize them by heart. You have the full week to do it, because next time we will not talk about this. It will be a new topic. So that's where we will end. Thank you for your attention, and we will end our class today over here.